Kliff Kingsbury recently had an interview after OTAs was finished, and he spoke about Jayden Daniels and how he felt about Jayden Daniels. And he basically said that in the beginning, before they even drafted Jayden Daniels, he was already looking towards his direction. He already felt as if he was a good candidate to get drafted by the Commanders. But he said it was honestly Adam Peters' call. And it was. But I'm sure at one point he probably gave his insight to Adam Peters. But he knew Adam Peters made the final call. And it's good to know that Kliff Kingsbury was one of those people that felt like we should go out and get him, because I'm sure that had something to do with us getting him. And of course, if we had the opportunity to get Caleb Williams, we probably would have did that as well. But the fact that we do have Jayden Daniels on the team, we're trying to figure out where we can go with him and how much information can he handle. And Kliff Kingsbury said it himself. He said Jayden Daniels has a high IQ of football. And he also said that it has allowed him to meet him at a higher standpoint. So he can bring him in and actually, work with him on certain points that he wouldn't usually work with a rookie quarterback on. So he can meet Jayden Daniels at where Jayden Daniels is, and he feels like Jayden Daniels is very high at where he's coming from college, and seeing that he doesn't really have much time to work on certain parts of his game. With Kliff Kingsbury, he feels like he can take him to another level, but he feels as though that he doesn't want to overwhelm him. And he said that's one thing that allowed him to be successful with not only Patrick Mahomes, but Kyler Murray as well. And that's one thing that happened. And he said that only happened over time. With more time came more responsibility. So he allowed him to learn just what was comfortable for him. And he said in his system, what he does with quarterbacks is he gives them just a little bit, and then he works on their strengths. And then as time goes on, he gives them more and more of his offense and just sees what works for them. And he said he can come up with the best play in the world, but if the quarterback doesn't like it, it's not going to help. So he said he just does what works for the quarterback. And like I've said before, that's one thing that Patrick Mahomes spoke about when he spoke about Kliff Kingsbury, and he spoke about Lincoln Riley, and he spoke about what allowed him to be so successful in those offenses, which was a person who believes in you, a person who puts your strengths before your weaknesses, a person that understands what you like as a quarterback, and they go with it. They run with it. So that's just a great thing. Another thing that Jayden Daniels has around him, that he has a whole bunch of quarterbacks, not just in his locker room, but coaching them. So, and a lot of people forget this, but Kliff Kingsbury used to be a quarterback, and he was a great quarterback coming out of college, but he just didn't have that much of a great career in the NFL. But he still has those traits, and it's understandable why he loves to coach quarterbacks. But just him being there, then you have Marcus Mariota, and then you also have Marcus Mariota, who has had a better NFL career than Kliff Kingsbury himself. And then also you have Sam Hartman, who is going to keep you competitive and keep you feeling like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're feeling motivated to keep grinding every day, because there are going to be some down times as a quarterback when you're in the league and you feel like you earn this spot, but then at the same token you feel like you're comfortable, and you don't want to get too comfortable. You want to have a guy that can in some way almost take your position, because it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you working, it keeps you putting your best foot forward. And I think that's great that Jayden Daniels has that. And then you have a guy like Dan Quinn in his corner, who is building a great team around him, And then you also have Dan Quinn, who is great with defenses. And you got Joe Witt Jr., who is his partner in crime everywhere they go. They are a great team. And then you got Ken Norton Jr., who does great with linebackers. And then just his chemistry with Dan Quinn over the years when they were both at Seattle Seahawks. And then, also Bobby Wagner is another person who just confirms this defense is going to be dominant. And the fact that we're building something, and we got to start slow. I mean, we all want playoff hopes. We all want playoff dreams. We all want Super Bowl aspirations. But we really got to take it for what it is. Right now, he's new. He's a beginner. And this is his first time in the NFL. And he has to take small baby steps. Of course, he has a step above most rookies at the quarterback position. But with him having a high IQ and with him being such a great thrower and a runner, we still got to take a step back and see it for what it is and understand that he's new. He's a rookie. So with him having Marcus Mariota in front of him and just allowing Marcus Mariota to take the lead right now until he feels comfortable is another step into greatness, and then allowing Jayden Daniels to be great. And then you have veterans in your corner like Zach Ertz, who has been familiar with this offense and can help you in ways. And just the fact that you have Zach Ertz there that's reliable and that's going to be that guy if you need him. And honestly, and I think every quarterback's favorite person to throw to or most reliable person to throw to is a tight end. And I believe that is so true. And when you think about Patrick Mahomes, the great Patrick Mahomes, who has 3 Super Bowls and has done a great job every year, his number one person is Travis Kelce. And then also you think about great guys like Tom Brady. His number one person to throw to is, I forgot his name, but Gronkowski. Is it Gronkowski? I can't even say it, but his number one tight end. And then it's just like, when you think about it, you got to have a great tight end for quarterbacks because they just feel so entitled to throw it to them, and they just feel so much like they are the best persons to throw it to, with them being, in front of the running backs as well. But most reliable people are the running backs and the tight ends because obviously sometimes they're the people that are most open most of the time. So, and I'm just excited for what we have, and I'm just excited to see that we have each and every position looking decent. And we also have guys that want to fight, want to win, want to compete. And I'm just excited for what we have for the future and what we have right now. And I'm just trying to see what's going on. I don't want to, of course, I've said I think we're going to make it to the playoffs. We have a playoff defense. But I like the fact that I can just sometimes sit back and just appreciate what we do have and where we're going. But because sometimes we give these expectations too much fluff. And when they don't come to reality, we hurt. We hurt by it. So let's just sit back and take a step for a second and just appreciate that we have a guy like Kliff Kingsbury who's going to have Jayden Daniels back. And he's going to take his time with Jayden Daniels. Not just throw him out there and overwhelm him with so many different plays and responsibilities. He's going to take his time with Jayden. And I'm just happy that we have a person like Kliff Kingsbury there. And I'm excited to see what we do with him. And definitely subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment and share this video with anybody that you feel need to see it. And guess what? I'm out.